What was episode 63 called?
Bone in. This is JRPG Historia Future Perfect. I'm your time captain.
Was that recorded?
That was recorded.
Okay.
I'm your time captain Evan, Space Corps Master Ryan, Virtual Stowaway Kyle.
Hello.
Skies of Arcadia.
All right.
So
let's see if we can get through this dungeon.
Yes, I will do that. I did want to bring one more thing up though.
All right.
About the previous episode's discussions.
Right.
The reason I felt passionate about sticking to that point is I think this is a thing I've noticed is a lot of people are recently a fan of sort of saying like, this isn't the thing to be talking about when there are more important things to be talking about.
Right.
And I think that's really like a slippery slope mentality, because it's the thing driving the whole like first world problems hashtag, right? It's like, yes, it's true that if my iPad breaks and I complain about it, that's not really that's not a global problem.
Right.
There are people who don't even have iPads.
Right. And I'm not trying to say that like these arguments that are kind of worthless aren't going to happen, or that they aren't entertaining in some way.
Sure.
Like,
sure.
It's. I was trying to make the point more of when we have our discussions about the bigger issues. It is important because we are trying to educate each other. We all have different points that we like to make, and that makes us better at those arguments.
I agree. That's why I take a fully sort of progressive argue about whatever approach, because I think when you start deciding what to argue about based on merit, like there's always going to be something bigger that someone can point to be like, why argue about this when you could argue about this? Like at that point, we should probably just only argue about like the creation of the universe. Like that's probably where it all ends. Because like, what's the point of everything?
Right.
Without understanding that. So that's
fair enough.
That's the main thing I feel about it. And I think people should obviously engage with all sorts of arguments.
No, I would agree with that.
And undoubtedly there are more important arguments to be had. But really, how can people think those are wings? I mean, come on. They're so transparently not wings. And then there are the times when they try to sort of fool you into thinking they're wings by, like, shaping them like wings, and, like, that's just deceitful.
Oh, yeah.
Because, like,
we should sue.
They're the frozen wings that have a Y in them. Wings.
Ugh.
Then you're just like, what am I doing?
What am I doing with my life?
Yeah, seriously. So yeah, that's I fear that's a good end point to that conversation, because I don't really have anything else to say for the rest of Skies of Arcadia. So
yeah, I think this dungeon's just turning us crazy.
I'm gonna go this way. I think I didn't go this way before.
Okay.
There are two ways to go. Oh wait, because I entered from here and I went. Yeah. Okay. I think. Okay.
All right.
I don't know.
Well, we'll try left. And we'll see where it takes us. Because basically, if I remember correctly, the way that I feel like this would be laid out is there's that fork right there, and then those two will have their own like single fork, and then those two separate forks go to like treasure or something. But then the other two like will actually, if I remember correctly, converge like together to one single point, which is where the boss is at. It's something like that.
All right. I just did that thing that happens sometimes where you like accidentally swallow before you swallow like a drink, and then it just sort of descends and it kind of burns. It's no good.
No. Remember, like I've done a couple times where like I'll go to like drink water or something, and I get like an air pocket while I drink it. And then it just feels like just pain, like going down the entire way. And you're like, ugh.
I remember the people around me when I was a kid used to call that, like, did something go down the wrong pipe? And so I always assumed that there were, like, literally two. Like, two pipes. And sometimes your piece of bone-in chicken is just gonna land in the wrong one.
Right.
And then you might die.
Yep.
That's more. That was probably around the same time I got Magellan and Michelin mixed up.
So like 5 years ago, something like that.
You guys want to have an argument?
What about Magellan and Michelin? Totally reasonable thing to think when you're like 6. I also thought the little vampire was so scary I couldn't watch it. So
Well, I mean, that is true, so
I was more like 4.
still true.
In that case, it's still true. There's a part where like the kid vampire's like fucking hanging upside down like a bat in a cave. Is no good.
And then there's that part where he has that mouse that drives the car.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Fuck all that
Oh.
shit.
Alright. Alright. More of these guys. Let's run. We can do it. We did it!
Gotta get out.
Good job, Vice.
Da 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 da. Oh wait.
You're on top of it, Vice. Okay.
It's in this world like they have cell phones and happens to have that ringtone. Da, da, da. Oh. Whoops. Let that one slip.
I'm pretty sure that's in fucking Advent Children.
It is in Advent Children,
There's
yeah.
one point where like Tifa's phone rings and it's the
No, it's Tifa and one of the main bad guys fight, and she like beats him, and then you hear the battle win music, and then it turns out it's his cell phone.
you
And you're
clearly know more about Advent Children than
I've watched it a few times. I really like that movie.
Jeez. You're in deep.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I have no problem with someone thinking it's a good movie.
All right.
Let's say. And I would argue the point,
Well-
but that seems especially frivolous. Arguing about the worth of Advent Children.
I would say, did you see? Well, I feel like some people have claimed that like it also depends on. Did you watch? Or are you basing it on just the actual story itself, or like the voice acting? I know the American
No,
version's not very good.
I just don't. I just sort of dislike the way the Final Fantasy movies portray fighting in the Final Fantasy. Like the way it interprets what the battles are.
Oh,
I think
okay.
is kind of stupid. It sort of makes it like Dragon Ball Z, and that's just weird because I never envisioned those fights going down like Dragon Ball Z. Because Cloud's just a dude, you know. Like like 10 minutes into Advent Children, he gets shot in the fucking face. He gets shot in the head on his motorcycle.
The glasses thing, yeah.
It doesn't do anything.
Well, it's because I can understand that. Basically, yeah, it ricochets off of his glasses and like cuts them or like splits them in half.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's like a.
It's just really stylized.
Yeah, the
kind
battle
of action.
The battle like cinematography is fine. It's just sort of not. It didn't feel super paired or grounded to the Final Fantasy VII universe for me. I think.
Yeah, I mean, when I watch stuff like that, I definitely kind of separate it
Yeah.
from the game or something like that. It's definitely more of it's just its own thing.
Mm-hmm. I can understand that, but I also can't do it. I envy you. Alright. Run!
I'll say, is it pretty much a universal kind of thought that the what was it, Final Fantasy Spirits Within was just terrible?
I've not seen it, but yes.
Yeah, I've seen it, and it's not. No, it's not really.
Roger Ebert gave it a positive review. That's one of the funniest things.
Wait, what?
One of the funniest things is that Roger Ebert gave Final Fantasy The Spirits Within like a 3 out of 4.
Well, I mean,
Why?
who takes his opinion seriously anymore?
Why? I don't know. Read his review. I just remember thinking that was especially funny in light of his like video games could never be art thing. It's like,
Right.
oh, okay, but Final Fantasy The Spirits Within. is
Didn't
a
he
good-
like end up refuting that statement eventually though?
No, he said that it was unfair to claim they can never be art, but he said that
Okay.
they aren't currently, and that
Like,
they probably won't.
They haven't
be.
hit that art yet.
And that they haven't hit that art. That deep art well.
Yeah, well, video games are still around and he isn't, so guess who wins?
Whoa! That
I
went
don't
dark.
I don't think he knows that this was based on a video game.
Yeah, I bet
think-
he did. Final Fantasy.
I'm skimming over this, and he doesn't mention the video game at all. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, obviously he could know and just isn't.
Maybe he just
including
doesn't
it, but
care.
Maybe.
But I feel like it would be hard. I feel like Final Fantasy has breached the populace in a way that somebody that plugged into media would surely know about it. But you know,
Maybe.
I'm not gonna count it out. Apparently that Roger Ebert documentary is really good. Did not go see it. That's what people tell me on the street. They're like, hey,
while you're getting your drugs from...
Hey dude, go see that Roger Ebert documentary. It's moving. And I'm like, fuck you, give me my drugs.
I said extra biscuits, now give me the extra biscuits.
What's the canon name of my drug dealer who might be a monkey?
Bobo?
Bobo.
Bobo the possible monkey.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it.
Best name for a drug dealer.
There's no mention of the video game in his review, but...
So you did like it, so... Who knows,
Yeah.
maybe it's great.
Sure.
Maybe I should go see it. Roger Ebert, interestingly enough, just like flawless. All of his reviews, exactly what I think about movies. Never a single disagreement. That's what
Alright.
That's what that guy I interviewed about the objective reviews thinks reviews should be.
Yeah.
For that piece I did. I asked him, it was impressive because the whole time I was thinking, like, I'll just ask him increasingly ridiculous stuff and sooner or later he's going to backtrack and sort of expose that he's not actually willing to go all the way with this, but he did. And I sort of admired it in a weird way. Because I was like, so in your mind, on Metacritic, if everybody were reviewing things fairly, it would all be the same score. And he was like, yeah. It's like, wow.
This guy,
You really believe this, dude.
he's the perfect human being.
You thought about it.
He is the summation of everybody. Just
He's the Star Child.
the Star Child. He's the person that you meet at the end of Mass Effect 3.
Yep.
That's the Star
And
Child.
then you're like, do you want to shoot the Star Child? Do you want to walk away, or do you want to?
Well, if
Go
you
toward
know,
the light.
if Metacritic
Or do you wanna marry him?
right, then everybody would want to do the same thing.
That's true. Because you know, it's all what you.
But it would have the same choice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody feels the same thing. In that interview, by the way, people should read that if they haven't. It's probably the best thing I've written, and it's on the site. It's very.
It was
long.
featured on
What is it?
Giant Bomb.
Featured on Giant Bomb. Yeah.
What's it called?
It's
Evan
called,
Tongotti's written piece.
It's called Objection, the Ballad of Crimson Wing 69. So go look for it.
Classic guy then. That Crimson Wing 69.
Yeah, I am quite proud of it. It was they linked it on Giant Bomb's Worth Reading feature, but they called me Evan Tongotti, and then I received like 5 or 6 like really glowing comments from people talking about how like, hey, thanks for linking to that Tongotti article. It was really good. And I was like, oh, well, I'll take what I can get, but yeah. But in that, he also says that he dislikes Skyrim, but would give it a 10 out of 10
Because it's objectively
because
a
it's
great game.
objectively like a true monumental like game design masterpiece. Which is just, you know, again, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, dude, you're nailing this interview. You got your story straight.
He knew what he wanted.
He knew what he wanted. He got what he wanted.
We got what we wanted.
He brought me, yeah, we got what we wanted, which was the sweet, sweet clicks. Thanks for the clicks, guys.
I love some of these comments on this article, though.
Yeah.
Visionary game designer David Cage. Ha 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 ha.
Yes. That's funny. Because it's all born out of, I wrote a review of Beyond Two Souls. I gave it a 2 out of 5.
Right.
I put it up on N4G, because that's sort of what we do
Right.
when we publish a review.
Right. I'm familiar with N4G. I've
Yes.
done that too.
Yeah, so a very poisonous community.
Yes. It's something else. It's like the 4chan of.
They also quite enjoyed my piece about the homosexual relationships in Tomodachi Life. They really loved that. But basically, he was one of the commenters on that article, sort of outlining like why I was so full of shit. And
Nice.
he was also weirdly like a little more focused and eloquent than the other people. And so I sent him like a message. I was saying like, hey, I don't. You'll probably never read this, but I was thinking maybe you could write what you'd consider an objective review of it, and I'll run it on my website. And then he got back to me, and then it happened.
And then magic was.
And then magic was made.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like that is a 3-month in the making article, basically. So people should read it. There's a lot, right? It's like 10,000 words long. It's long.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
It's so.
Yeah, it's a pretty lengthy article.
Yeah.
Even as somebody who like normally hates Evan's work.
Yeah, no,
that's pretty great.
that's one of the reasons I keep you around, because you so detest most of what I write.
Yeah. I keep you grounded.
Well, you gotta keep that devil's advocate, close so that you can.
vocabulary.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, I also finished day 2 of 7 in my video game.
Yeah,
And
you did. I played that.
Ryan played it, and it sounds like it didn't break. There's a couple things I need to fix, but he was able to complete it, which is good. That means there's no critical bugs.
I also meant to tell you, I think there's a mistype in one of the things where it tells you to go to when you're going to the truth building.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
You
pretty.
literally get into a fight right before the save.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that sucks.
I'm pretty sure that the guy who's telling you where to go says it's on 1st Street when it is on the 2nd Street, actually.
Well, no, it actually is on 1st Street, because the street that wraps around the exterior is Delilah Boulevard.
Okay.
You motherfucker.
Yeah, alright. I couldn't remember if that was a thing or if it was just
Yeah.
a mistype.
No,
So.
no, that's
Okay,
true. That's true.
gotcha.
I world continuity in my game. Unparalleled.
Can't
That's
wait
the way
to
it
try
should
it
be.
out.
Yeah, I will send you a copy once it's finished. But, yeah.
Let Kyle play it for his early access web series.
It's not
There we
going
go.
up on early access. I know you keep trying to convince me because it would be a funny
you
joke.
you
but
should, and then give
Evan, it
Clint
would
a
be
copy.
such a funny joke, though.
It really wouldn't be a funny joke. It would probably doom my chances at that game being even moderately respected.
And make it like
Clint would hate it.
$49.99.
Just
That's
based on
what I said.
principle.
Yeah, make
Yeah.
it early access and then give Clint a copy.
You know, one funny thing I found out that I actually haven't brought up to Clint because I forgot about it is
What's
that Divinity Original Sin was an early access game.
And he really likes that game,
Yeah.
doesn't he?
Yes, no, he's like way into it. He's like upset that I'm not playing.
Wow.
But yeah, so
I looked up more stuff about that game, and I don't know.
yeah, it's just a style of game I don't really have time for right now because
Yeah.
I have this show, and I also have to play Planescape Torment.
Oh, you do. Right.
But after that, maybe I'll give it a look because it sounds like it's just a sort of a throwback CRPG, which is not a genre I'm super well versed in.
CRPG?
Computer role-playing games
Oh,
like
okay.
Baldur's Gate and
Okay.
stuff like that.
Yeah, he told me it was like Dragon Age Origins, and I looked up more stuff about it. It doesn't seem that much like Dragon Age Origins.
I think the combat is probably similar to like the tactical view in Dragon Age Origins.
Okay. See, I played Dragon Age Origins on console.
Oh god, and you didn't. Oh god.
Didn't
okay.
use the tactical view once.
I haven't even
played Dragon Age.
I've not played it really, and I know that you made a big fucking mistake.
I love that game. I love Dragon Age Origins.
I think I have.
Never had a
loved
problem with
Dragon
it.
Age games.
I loved playing it without the tactical view.
That's I mean, you also loved Duke Nukem Forever, so.
No, I liked Duke Nukem Forever, which is a statement I have very heavily backtracked on since then.
Yeah.
Since we first started talking about it on this series, I have thought more about Duke Nukem Forever.
Have you thought
And,
about that one alien rape cave?
Yeah.
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 An argument worth having. No.
Yeah, this is an argument worth having.
All right.
Okay. Let's fight this boss
are-
or whatever.
We're now in the main area where the yellow Gigas is asleep.
I'm going to slowly ascend.
And then wake it up.
Yeah.
No, we're just gonna try and get the crystal and not bother him.
Okay.
I'm sure this will work.
I'm sure that'll work. Yeah.
Yeah.
So wait, is the Grand
Ah.
Gigas?
Sorry.
Gaga?
What are you saying? Say a full word.
Is the Grand Fortress the Yellow Gigas, or it's just that?
It's this thing.
It's this thing.
Okay, it doesn't like turn into the Grand Fortress.
No.
Well,
That would be terrifying.
Even if it did, why not just wait and let the surprise take us, Ryan? It's like when we're watching like a show that I've seen, and you're like, "Is this gonna happen?" And I'm like, "What do you want me to say?" Yeah, what do you want me to say?
Say yes, no matter what, even if it doesn't. Just say yes.
Okay.
Yellowgar is a pretty uninspired name for the Yellow Gigas. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, actually, if I remember correctly, the blue Gigas was Blueheem.
Sylvite, Ryan.
Guys, this game's dumb.
It's ripping apart at the seams. So, Matthew,
Shut your mouth.
last night when I was watching some stuff for my television podcast, the series Regular, right?
Fair enough.
With Matthew, he pulled out, because the episode we were watching was pretty bad, so we were bored, so he pulled out his top 200 games, Game Informer, the top 200 Game Informer.
Oh,
issue.
yeah.
And we were just looking up some of the stuff, and Skies of Arcadia is on that list, at like number 82.
Yep.
Which I was surprised to see.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty highly regarded game.
They also put, it was very funny because Matthew brought up that one of the games on that list is one of the games we'll be playing in Season 2 that I'm very much not enjoying.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him what was right after that, what they considered to be just a little bit worse than this game that we're playing. And he said Final Fantasy IV. And
Really?
It was very funny. Because I have no issue with it, because it's like organizing a top 200 list with
Right.
like,
You remember what number that was?
It's 79. I believe was the game I dislike, and then 80 was Final Fantasy.
Really?
Yeah, and I get why that would happen, because it's just like you have 15 people arguing over a top 200 list. At some point, the ordering isn't going to be perfect or anything, but it was just really funny.
Okay. Well, no. 80 is Final Fantasy. Well, Final Fantasy 2, but it's SNES, so that would be
it's
Final
4.
Fantasy
It's
4. Okay.
Okay, let me see here. I would hope Final Fantasy
okay.
2 is nowhere fucking near their top 200 games list.
All right. Yeah, I'm seeing what it is now.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fun.
Yeah, you've not been saying good things about that one. So.
It's not. People can watch that next season to see specifically what I dislike about it. Let's do some focusing.
Probably be easier to see what you like about it. Shorter list.
Yeah, there's one thing. There's one thing.
Do you guys agree with what was the number 1 pick, Legend of Zelda?
Yeah, I got no problem with that. I mean, I think at a point, it seems as though they're trying to amass then like a most important games list.
Right. Not necessarily like because, for example, like when GI did the super replay of Legend of Zelda, they were saying how like,
yeah,
Link to the Past is obviously the better game.
Right.
But
it's more
Legend of Zelda started it, obviously.
Which is fine. I think I'd probably be more interested in reading a list that was like 15 people's deeply subjective opinions like mashed together. Like that would be really fascinating.
That would be interesting.
Because when I went in, I was like, well, obviously the top 2 are probably good. Pong might be there, or I think Tetris is number 3 instead of Pong.
Yeah, Tetris is number 3.
So it's like Tetris, Mario, Zelda, and it was like, that's pretty obvious.
Right.
But I don't begrudge the choice at all.
Oh yeah.
It's a very important game.
Half-Life 2 is number 5.
I mean, look, everybody knows the Portal should be in the top 5. It
is one of the perfect games.
Yeah. It is the one I will still defend as perfect. I don't know that I'd defend any of the others.
Yeah.
Necessarily, yeah.
We still need to play that Portal 2 co-op.
Yeah, I guess we do need to do that, don't we?
Evan's never played it.
Me neither.
You scum.
Jesus. Yeah,
I've played through the story plenty of times, but yeah.
I played a little of it. I think I played like the first couple levels, and I was really impressed at how well it worked.
Yeah,
Because it's such an utterly untenable concept.
the puzzle design is just fantastic
Yeah.
for especially the late game stuff with that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, once you like go to like old aperture and stuff.
Oh, I just mean with the co-op, but yeah, even in the
okay.
story.
Yeah. Portal 2's great.
Yeah.
It's not quite as good as Portal, but nothing's quite as good as Portal.
I'll say like
Portal-
I think part of the reason why like I mean this is obviously just an opinion, but I feel like the reason why Portal did what it did so well and why you probably like it so much is just because it's very it's a short title, so it doesn't get old very quickly, and you get the basics and you get through it, and you get those challenges, and then it's done and it's over with, and it's not like drawn out any further than it needs to be.
Well, there were a lot of reasons Portal's like I think the best game.
I think that
me,
helps.
but that, no, that's an extremely key part of it. Since I've now committed to live streaming Portal once a month.
I think Zero Punctuation has probably the perfect review of Portal. If you guys have not seen that,
I've seen it.
It's really good.
Yeah, I think. Okay, hang on.
What do you think?
I am going to use. Okay, so it was underneath the. I'm definitely overthinking this. But I'm gonna say it was underneath the thing. It was so I bet. I'm gonna say above.
Or it has a soft belly.
Ah, damn it. Well, it's still coming up. Then let's just guard 3 and then have him heal. There's no rush here. But yeah, I've beaten Portal probably like a dozen times. Somewhere in there. Last month I beat it in under an hour. I did it.
Did you really?
Yeah, like 57 minutes?
Is that the one that you uploaded to YouTube?
Yeah, I've uploaded 2 of those to YouTube. I need to figure out, because the bit rate is terrible on both of them, and I don't feel like that's a problem with my other streams.
What do you have it set to?
It's just 720. I don't like
well,
the bit rate. I'm not positive.
Oh, okay.
I
figure out what that is. Typically with live streaming, bit rates obviously are dependent on your internet speed.
Right.
But typically somewhere around 2 megs is pretty typical.
Yeah.
Pretty average.
I remember turning it down, I think, before, but I'll have to check again before I stream it.
I don't know if you use XSplit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
XSplit has a thing where it'll actually test your internet and your speed, and it'll actually set a standard for you.
Okay.
I would do that.
Then. But yeah, so I've beaten Portal a lot. I'm pretty good at Portal.
Yeah, if there's ever a question I have about Portal,
yeah,
I know who to go to.
I know it like the back of my hand.
Yeah.
And the thing that's so genius about Portal is that it's like your first time through is probably like 3 hours, 3 or 4 hours, but like there's no wasted space. Like all of the test chambers teach you how to play Portal, and then the escape sequence is just applied knowledge.
Yep.
And it's insane. It's like people should just study it if they want to design video games. Like it's
well, haven't they've done that? Like some universities actually use that as like basically study material for students who want to get into game design.
Yeah, it's incredible in that regard. And then just the story stuff is also perfectly paced, and the ending.
I think Valve in general has kind of been like, here's like all our games, and you can use them for study purposes and stuff.
Yeah. Portal was the game that was made by a couple of guys at like a game jam or something, right?
Well,
They hired those
Turtle Rock.
It was it was Narbacular Drop.
Yeah, which you can still get. You can go download it. It's free, and it's pretty good actually. You can obviously see where it comes from and everything. It's a pretty cool game to try out.
Valve basically hired them to work on the puzzle stuff, and then put their own writers on the story.
Yeah.
Which is why it's so good.
Yep.
But Portal 2 is like does everything Portal does sort of bigger, which is great. Like I think Portal 2 is an excellent game. But it's all by virtue of being the second one and not quite as tight or unexpected.
Right.
I don't think it succeeds in.
Plus, not nearly as memorable of a end song either. So
Yeah, well, it was just a bad idea because I think like in terms of actual songwriting, I think it's a totally comparable song. Like
It was
know,
just.
it's just
It was
they
so
shouldn't have-
expected.
right, it was done, and yeah.
They shouldn't have chased that dragon.
Yeah.
that was.
Yeah, I definitely like the Portal 2 song a lot.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it's
it's a
just-
good song,
It is
but
a
yeah,
good
it's
song.
just not as as memorable
Yeah,
because it's not the first time.
Yeah, I like. I at this point because I've heard that song so much, it's been so overplayed. The Still Alive, that now I will only listen to it as a reward for beating Portal. So the only time at which I will listen to Still Alive is when I am just sitting there at the live stream with listening to the credits. And
Have you heard of Portal Prelude?
yes, I have. I've never.
Have you? Okay, you should try it because it's the puzzle design for it is pretty good, and it's a fan made game.
Yeah.
I actually got stuck at one point, and I haven't been able to beat it. So I would like. I think you should give it a shot. You'd probably be able to get through it all. But they actually have a redux of Still Alive that's right near the beginning of the song, the game, and it's actually a pretty good version of it.
That would be a fun to stream because I'm pretty.
It's I say if I remember correctly, it might be longer than the original Portal.
Yeah. I'm not like. Sort of the deceptive thing is I'm not great at Portal cold. Like I wasn't like a savant at Portal 2.
Right.
I just know all the puzzles and I'm good. I've
Right,
done it
yeah,
so
like,
many times
I
that
think-
my reflexes are
Right,
pretty
I'm saying it
fast.
because like I think you know the mechanics and
Yeah.
you have them expertly figured out at this
Yes.
point. You could probably get that taken care of than I could.
I
so
know how to skip one of the levels in Portal, like a true fucking speed.
There you go. There you go. Oh, is that the one where you jump in and you're able to like portal through quick enough before the puzzle sets or something
No,
that you
it's
can get
not.
through?
It's nothing like that. Like actual
okay.
sequence breaking. It's
Because I think I've seen that before.
Yeah, it's like there's a part where basically there's this platform that only lowers once you've completed the puzzle.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I know the one you're talking
But
about.
there's a drop, like so you can go to the left, and these
Yeah.
stairs pop up, and
Yep.
then they descend, and there's a huge drop. So
Mm-hmm.
if you can figure out which way to pull on the stick, it's really disorienting. You can set a portal next to the platform that's supposed to lower once the puzzle's over, and just go off the drop and use your momentum to just get out of the level.
Oh, okay.
And finish it. And it was one of those things that, like, both times on the stream I've gotten it the first time, but sometimes I do it for like 15 minutes and I just get two in my head about which way I have to pull on the stick. And it,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, I always hated those kind of things when you have to do it in the game anyway. And
Yeah.
It's just like, which way do I go? And then you're like, there's those points where you're like going in and out of them over and over again, and like you just can't figure out which direction
Yeah,
to go
the
because you
end
keep
of
like
the,
alternating, and it's, yeah, it's annoying.
The end of the 18th level has that room where it's just like it's a poison.
Oh, the one where you
pit,
have to like keep
and
going
you
up
have to
higher
keep
and
going
higher
up
by
higher
putting
and
the
higher and then
yeah.
jump. That part's also rough if you're inattentive, if you're trying to get the out of the blue achievement, which is the achievement for always exiting the blue portal.
Oh,
Because you can't mess up.
yeah,
if you
that
mess
would
up
be
on
rough.
that part, then you'll descend back through the orange portal and fuck it up.
Yeah. Oh, that's rough.
I got it though. That's one of the only games I have all the achievements in on 360. Is the Portal Still Alive?
That was one of the earlier ones where achievements were like,
Yeah.
here's 4 points for this achievement.
Yeah, well, not the orange. I never got it all in the orange box. But
Right, yeah, the orange box is a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
Well, because Team Fortress 2 has some of them too, right?
yeah, and nobody plays Team Fortress
Right,
2 on
it's-
the Xbox 360 or PS3.
That and multiplayer game-based achievements are terrible.
Yes.
Yeah, agreed.
Yes.
Yeah, achievements should be reserved for single-player experiences, and multiplayer should be reserved for, like, special, like, ranking up and
Mhm.
things like that. Like, that's what achievements essentially are for multiplayer.
I don't know. I like I like a lot of the games, or I like the mechanic that some of the games do. That is like you have a persistent level that you can level up
Mhm.
by doing stuff in single player that carries over to multiplayer.
Yeah. It's
Okay.
decent, I
Yeah, but at least then it can still be obtained though through single
I
player.
remember, I think maybe it was one of the really early Ridge Racer games. Back when achievements were like a fucking wasteland, like just nobody knew what to do with them.
Right.
There
yeah.
was one
there was
game-
no standard for how many points you put into a game. There
Yeah.
was no standard for like it should be 5 or 10. It was like some of them were like, here's 2 points for this, and
Yeah. And
here's a 0 point achievement.
yeah, and then some of them are like, there are 5 achievements that are all worth 200 gamer scores.
Right.
It's like, whoa. But
like a
there was this
Naruto game or something like that.
there
No,
Avatar.
Avatar.
The last
Avatar.
was- You
Yeah.
can get all the achievement points
In like
3
5 minutes.
Yeah, it's all just combo stuff, right?
Yeah, basically. You can do it all in the first level. But there was one game where there was an achievement for being at the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah.
That was one of the like achievements. Was like the global leaderboard be number 1. It's like, oh boy.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
I wonder who
someone-
that one guy is that has that.
Right.
I did get the day we're recording this. I got the fucking 75% completion achievement in Just
Oh,
Cause
did you?
2.
Nice.
Congratulations.
On my road to 100%ing that game out of pure spite for how much
Criterion Collection.
just how much bullshit they threw in.
Criterion Collection.
Criterion, fuck you. Yeah,
Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon Advanced Warfighter World Champion.
that's
ranked
it. It was
1 on the
raw.
Universal Leaderboard.
That's it. Okay. Man,
Gee. Oh God.
I'm sure a
With
couple
40
yeah,
gamer score.
40
There's got to be only what, like 5 people that have that achievement.
Yeah, probably. I bet most of them
Uh,
are fucking games
this-
press.
This thing that's like it says that 112 people have this achievement.
Wow.
Now I wonder how many of these people
Probably,
pre-release.
I say probably some of the early adopters, like right when it first came out, probably because that was switching more and more often.
And I'd imagine, like, once again, like journalist accounts and stuff.
Yeah,
People
exactly.
played before it came out.
devs and stuff.
Devs, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
But yeah, that's inadvisable. That's
Yeah.
an achievement. Yeah. I have
because then that's a game you can't quote unquote complete. Really, like it's impossible.
some would say Just Cause 2 is impossible, not me. I'm gonna get every fucking achievement. I'm gonna get every fucking weapon part.
I did the orbs in Crackdown.
Jesus.
Wow, nice.
Or which one had more? Crackdown 2, I think.
I think Crackdown 2 has more orbs.
Yeah.
That's the one I. Yeah, because I never played Crackdown 1. I played Crackdown 2 though.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I've considered doing the Noam Chomsky one.
That seems fun.
That one seems fun, but like frustrating at the same
Oh
time.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it would be. That's one of those ones that's like, you'd get done with it and you would probably feel pretty accomplished about it. But
I remember when we were having you, me, and Clint, and I think Matthew too, Ryan. We were trying to start up that achievement race that just fizzled out at some point,
Yeah.
and like you and Clint were obsessed with trying to beat Battlefield 3's campaign on hard to get the achievement. And I remember at the time I was just like, you guys, it's like, Clint especially, you've been doing this for so long. I've already beaten it. I can just get those 25 points somewhere else. You people are not managing this efficiently.
yeah,
Because who wants to play more of Battlefield 3's campaign than they
right. I say, I think actually just a couple of months ago, I finally hit like 50,000 gamer score, and I was like, oh hey,
Yeah.
50,000.
I've got like 58 or so.
I have no clue what mine is. I should
I stopped playing for achievements after a
Yeah,
while.
I stopped caring.
It was fun while it lasted. I deliberately didn't play any of the games that are famously easy to get all the achievements in,
Yeah.
just in case one day I'll be in a situation where somebody's like, $200, who can get more achievements?
Right.
And
Evan.
Yeah, what?
200
Yeah,
bucks.
I did.
I
cons-
can't do that. I do
I-
have $200 in cash lying in my room right now, but I can't do that. That's not even a joke. I have that, but no.
Yeah,
No.
say, I did consider it at some point, but I was just like, no, it's just no.
Ryan, no.
Evan.
Ryan.
We could do it.
You can't do this to me. You can't do this to me.
Anyway, 50,264 is my gamer score apparently at this point in time.
You got that odd achievement score.
Yeah,
Some dickish
I think it was like Defense Grid or something. It had some weird odd one.
I have 46,645.
Oh, so I'm better than you, huh?
I guess so.
Well, just more achievements left for you to get.
Yeah. Evan, hey, you want to,
No. No.
Okay.
I mean, look, obviously if we did, I'd win. But no.
Probably.
Oh, don't say that. That's just because you want to fucking bait me into doing it.
Okay. $50.
Yeah, that's maybe a little more reasonable.
Wow.
I'll think about it.
Alright.
Let's see here.
That's $50 I could be spending on Dota couriers, Ryan.
Oh God.
I'm not going to buy any Dota couriers. For the record.
You say that now.
I cannot imagine why I'd want to, ever.
I accidentally almost bought the compendium on my first time playing Dota.
The book that levels up. You buy a book in Dota, you can buy a book, and you can level up your fucking book by spending more money on it, and it gives you more battle points.
Oh, here we go. DJ Hero 2. I have 29 achievement points.
Oh yeah, DJ Hero 2 does have some of that shit in it.
What is it? 3 achievement points, 6 achievement points for particular achievements. What the hell?
Man, I still have that turntable.
I have a lot of... I'm missing a lot
It was a
of
fun
Fallout
game.
3.
Yeah, it was.
I'm missing a lot of Fallout 3 quest stuff that I could easily get, probably.
That's a waste of your time, man.
I love how we're looking at our achievements like, oh, I could do this. Yeah.
If-
Like, we're starting to get back into it.
I just know offhand that I never did a lot of side quests in Fallout 3 on Xbox. So
Where did you do them?
PS3.
Oh.
There is one game I know I'll never get all the achievements in, and that's 1 versus 100.
Yeah, right.
I got all but 1 achievement from that.
Man, that was such a cool idea.
It was a lot of fun. Like,
That was such a cool fucking idea for a thing.
Why did they stop that? Like,
Because nobody
don't
played
know.
it, probably, or like it was too much money.
yeah,
They had
say
a
it.
live commentator. They had a dude who'd sometimes show up, and you'd hear a microphone crackle on and be like, "Hey, thanks, good job, XX420, blaze it."
It was a pretty good time. I actually remember, like, it was like a real like game show. You'd sit down at 7
Yeah.
o'clock or something like that, and I remember I just would sit down and play that with my girlfriend, and it was just a lot of fun to see if we could get the answers right and everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was a good time.
I recall the trivia being pretty easy, largely, but
Yeah,
hey, I don't got no complaints. That was a game where you could like win Microsoft points too. Like,
Yeah.
if you were the one, like
if you were the one,
playing
you could get
for,
Microsoft points. Yeah, it was like up to
like a
what?
lot of Microsoft points. Like
it was like
10,000.
5 or 10,000. Yeah, something like that.
how did you get chosen to be the one? It just had to be like
It was-
random.
Yeah, it was randomized. I'm pretty sure.
They might have prioritized it by like you've played enough, so now you're higher.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. It could have been like you did well the last round
Yeah.
or something like that.
But then the other thing is if they lose. So like if you're in the mob and it becomes like, 5 versus 1 and they lose, then you split whatever they could have won 5 ways.
Right. Oof.
It's a good idea.
We'll have 1 achievement in Risk Factions.
That would have been a very good game to bring back for the Xbox One.
Yeah, it would have been a smart idea. You
Yep.
could have like Tom Berenger snapped in your because I just assume he'd host 1 versus 100 on Xbox.
So you could pretty much do that with just about any game show, and just
Yeah.
it'd be a lot of fun.
Man, my fucking Xbox One is a pile of shit. Did I talk about the latest thing?
No.
No.
Also, wait, hold on. This is gonna bug me. Tom Berenger's not his name. What's that guy's fucking name?
The guy from Full House, right?
The America's Funniest Home Videos guy.
Yeah, that's Tom Berenger.
It is?
Well, there's
Wait,
him, but I thought all.
I don't think so. I think Tom Berenger's a totally different dude.
It's the guy who does Funny Stone videos is the same guy who hosts Dancing with the Stars.
I know. I don't think that's Tom Berenger.
I'm almost positive.
I feel like Tom Berenger's a real-ass actor. I
So
think
you-
Tom Berenger's in Major League.
Tom Bergeron.
Okay. Anyway.
Okay, I can get that. Magellan and Michelin.
Oh,
No.
come on. I'm 12. I was 6.
Oh,
I also just got the Thunder Cutlass, you guys.
nice. So this is the first Gigas that we actually killed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did it.
We're competent.
That wasn't
The
even...
Vice is still pissed.
Rotten hell, you motherfucker.
That's for Drachma.
Look me in the eyes.
I know he's still alive, but that was for Drachma.
Look me in the eyes while you're dying.
I want you to see
Even
something
have
interesting
hygienic
before you die.
beast.
It's amazing we were able to get it before the
Please
Armada.
Don't
Cue
say
the
that.
Armada.
Yeah, don't say that, because it's just gonna... Oh
That's it.
no, Fina. Okay, let's call the episode. We'll be back.
All right.
As the sad music starts, when we realize we have to part ways with Fina.
Yep.
JRPG Historia Future Perfect deactivate.
Boo, 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 boo.